like, well, we're gonna make another thumbnail here, and it doesn't even need to be attached to the fucking like content of the video. It just needs to get your attention, clickbait and all that shit. As we've discarded our own honesty, like on the platform, like we might as well fuck it all off then. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna use a piece of art that some cunt made, and the depiction of the picture is actually quite accurate, but I think that the intention was off. So where is the picture? We've just loaded it in. Not responding. What's going on here? Oh, it's come back on. Right. Okay. Maybe there's some sort of jib with this picture. Like, oh, if somebody's giving me a virus for downloading the picture, then what you need to do is you need to go to the brig and die in unimaginable suffering. So, and it's going to happen over and over again until you realize that you sort of like on wrong. Like, so what we're going to do here is we're going to make some additional adjustments to what's going on. Uh, like, well, we need that at slightly bigger, 4, that'll do. So we got this here, and I think you know what's going on there. And it doesn't need to be big because it's sort of like some sort of secret. But around it, there needs to be summit. So this one needs to be a little bit bigger. 9. We need to. Um, that's roughly the right position. The whatever. Like, well, we're putting way too much effort here. Like, the dexterity of the tech isn't good enough, and that'll do. Here we go. You've heard of the chakras. Well, is it an urban myth? I'm not so sure. But I have a feeling that it's slightly more complex than people make out. So when you start thinking about the number 7, you better realize that it's just one. That's a nice color of blue there. Like, wow, look at this. Now, this one's sort of up here, but just to break the rules, like, symmetry, like, the blue's the highest this time. And there's a reason this, well, no, well, we need it white, please. That's still blue. There's a reason for it. Like that one's going up. So, but there's also a different color that's going up. And the thing is everybody thinks that is this fucking like why is it still blue? This is rubbish. Is everything blue? No. I don't agree, and we need to make it better. So, pink, yeah. Some reason it's still blue, but we're not going to give up here. So, we're going to make it pink, whether fucking paint likes it or not. So, yeah, well, blue, yeah, blue. BS. That is not to be confused with bullshit. It means something else. Now, if this, well, what I thought it'd go grey. Well, it's not even changed. Right, it's up here. Right, this is the primary color. Then, all right, we need it. That's a nice color of pink, right? So, we want this bit to be in front, but this bit's not taking the credit, so it's going to take the credit and not take it at the same time. So, this doesn't need to be perfect because imperfection is a process. But what's going to happen here is there's going to be some sort of thing like, wow, all right, L, because this is as you can see, this is the W. CC. King starts with a C from now on, and look, it looks like an anchor. Now, in this pipe here, they're trying to depict me as a drug dealer, and I'm smoking my own product and I'm off my head. So here we go. Like, we've got some sort of vision here. This one's a bit fucked, but there's no problem. So, this is nearly finished, but if you look here, this like toes a thumb. Like, so we need to go to the doctors. So if we just draw a bandage on, oh come on, white, yeah, well, this is wet wig and A&E treatment. Wow, wow, there we go, it's fixed. And in his hand, we're gonna put Summit, and we can't be bothered going to Google Images because we're being fucking creative here. Um, that, yeah, right. When Jesus did the noble thing, like he didn't realize that if he just had a cig and said, like, Satan, you can't win, like, then he wouldn't have had to go to the effort. But credit to him for putting up with it for quite some time. But what makes you think he did it for 40 days? Like, well, I bet he did it for 40 minutes and then went and got some food. Like, and as you can see, we're on fire here, so, the crack. Now, if we really want to make this interactive here, we want to put in some smoke, but, it kind of fizzles off into the air and all that. So, now, Tarzan, everybody keeps telling me that I look like Tarzan, and Tarzan, so we better underline it with grey, because, everybody who says it's always boring. So if you think I'm Tarzan, then that's a misconception, and I'm God. It's clear, I'm not even being serious. You understand? But I don't need to point out what I'm pointing to when I say I'm not being serious. Why? We need to lighten up here. And yellow's a lovely color, so yeah, and then we're gonna put a bit of effort into the eyes. We could just like this one's a bit fucked. Alright. He's crying because he cares too much and he's not bothered. Now, we put a nose in, but, it might get bit off at some point. And, no. But I've got a feeling that this guy, he's going to keep his nose for a bit. And, there'll be some sort of fiend that'll bite it off, but it'll happen to them in recoiled time loops. So... You ever seen, like, come on, Volty, ass jerky don't make itself. See, like, look at this. And he's got a missing tooth, so we better put another one in. And it's on this side here, so, yeah. But we are going to go to the effort to put the nose in, but it's going to look something like this after a bit. Wow. If you've been paying attention, then you should learn that I'm really the same one here. And if you don't like it, it really is discrimination. I don't think Martin Luther King would appreciate it. Because the thing is this man has a dream, and you ought to have some faith. So, the Wampas, we ought to put some stars around here, and what colour should they be? Oh, the white's boring, like, we better make them all types of different colours. Every single one, by the way. There's a black one, but it's at the minute it's not given us the credit, and it's a bit rubbish. There's a white one, but that one's just like, the yin of the yang, or whatever the fucking difference is. What fucking... That's about it. The other ones are already there, and this is a finished article. Now, if you want to make some money, you can just download this image and sell it to people. I don't give a shit. You go and get some cigs with it. No, if you care about the fate of the universe, I think you better share this video on every like platform, and you have my permission to download it and do whatever the fuck you want with it. I don't give a shit. But if you start taking the piss really bad without it being an actual joke, then you might don't be laughing when you or crying when you find yourself in the brig. Because if you are laughing, you won't be laughing for very long.